In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact financial literacy rules that I follow to go from $0 to $100,000 in net worth. So let's start with rule number one. What you work on is far more important than how hard you work at it. Why? Because you can be the hardest working chef at a local restaurant, but you still won't make much. But you can choose to work in higher earning avenues and employ leverage to your skills to earn much more. Here's what I mean by this. Our chef can improve its skills so he or she can work in a luxury restaurant. Why? So he or she can earn a lot more per unit of time. Or our chef can employ some leverage to its skills to increase its earning power. What do I mean by this? For example, our chef can create content to grow an audience, then create a product like an ebook or cooking course, and then distribute it and sell it at scale. Or our chef can combine the two by developing higher paying skills and also employing some form of leverage. Don't get me wrong. Hard work matters, but what you work hard on matters more. Rule number two, net income must always be higher than expenses. Here's the first thing on this. It's not the dollar amount difference that matters between the two, but the percentage. Why? Because spending is relative to income in percentages. I mean, you can make $1 million per year, but if you spend 90% of it, it's still going to take you 42 years to achieve financial freedom. Here's the second important thing on this. The mainstream advice of saving 10% of our income will keep us broke. Here's the stupidly simple math behind this. This assumes starting with $0 and earning a basic 7% return on investment. So if we follow the mainstream advice of saving 10% of our income, that means it will take 42 years for us to achieve financial freedom. If we bump it to 20%, it's going to be 31 years. 30% is going to be 24 years. 40%, 19 years. 50%, 15 years. Now we're talking. The most financially literate people I studied aim for at least 40 to 50%. So always keep your expenses a lot lower than your net income. Your future you needs it for skills, for investments, and for health. Rule number three. Save. Here's what I mean by this. Saving is a form of sending money to your future self. If our net income is higher than our expenses, then the saving is on autopilot. But things can always be optimized with a little bit of effort. How to do this? For example, I don't like using budgets. I hate them. I use a tracker to observe spending patterns. Then I cut mercilessly on the things that don't bring me value by observing how I feel when I spend money on certain things, and I increase my spending in areas where I get a lot of value per unit spent. Here's the thing, if I would have zero savings, this is how I would go about it. The first thing that I would do is I would build a 1-month emergency fund. Then I would save towards a 3-month emergency fund. In step 3, if I would have any consumer debt, I would attack it with full power. I would start with the highest interest one, then go to the second highest interest, and so on and so forth until I would have zero consumer debt. Then in step 4, after I would have no consumer debt, I would use 100% of the savings to increase my earning skills. In step 5, after I get my first increase in skills and I get my first increase in income, I would go about 50-50 between personal development to earn more and towards a 6-month emergency fund. Then after the 6-month emergency fund is completely funded, I would split the savings 50-50 between investing in an index fund, a low-cost index fund like the total stock market index or the S&P 500, and 50% towards personal development. And by personal development, I mean skills that would earn me more money in the future. Why? Because the goal would be to create a bigger gap between net income and expenses so I can save more and achieve the goal faster. Rule 4. Invest. Investing in ourselves should always be the main goal. The more skilled and knowledgeable we are, the more we can earn, the more we can keep, and the more we can invest. If we move on to investing in assets, things can be really simple. It may seem complicated because the financial industry designed it this way. Why? So they can siphon more money from you. So on this part, you can relax. You do not need to study individual businesses, you do not have to pick individual stocks, and you do not have to hire a financial advisor. You can use index funds and ETFs like the total stock market index and the S&P 500. Like Papa Buffett is telling us, the advice to invest only what you can afford to lose makes absolutely no sense. Why? Because in any 10-year time frames, the odds of making money by investing is 95%. The odds of making money in any given 5-year time frame is 89%. And this assumes a boring buy and hold index fund approach. This is also why you don't need a financial advisor. Keep it simple. Be your own financial advisor. Invest 20 to 40 hours in your own financial education to become more financially literate. Do you want to know the return on investment on your time if you do this? You will make between $200,000 to $350,000 over your investing career. And this assumes a 1 to 2% management fee that is usually charged by a financial advisor or by a mutual fund. This is like earning over $6,000 per hour. So the golden rule is this: whenever possible, choose the lowest cost investment vehicle like ETF or index fund and the commission-free or low fee brokerage. Rule number 5, build your credit if this applies to you. For example, I live in a country where this rule does not apply, but I know that in other countries like the United States, this matters a lot. By just building your credit, you can save over $100,000 over the course of your life. How? By having access to lower interest rates whenever you are borrowing. This may be the case when you buy a property, either for personal use or for investment purposes. So if you know you're in a country where this matters, learn the basics and improve your credit score. These last 2 rules can make you at least $300,000 if you follow them. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you might also like this other video that I made. Until next time, thank you for watching, subscribe, and stay wealthy.